So welcome to lesson 4 of this 5-day challenge. This is Chris again, and I'm here to bring you through this lesson, and this is the second last lesson, so just 2 more to go, and I hope that you've enjoyed it so far, and let's get going. So on the first day we looked at strategy and structure. Second day we looked at idea generation. Yesterday we looked at how to write an effective introduction, and today, really important, how to write a main body paragraph. And then the last day we are going to look at how to finish our essay with a good conclusion. So what are we specifically going to look at today? We're going to look at what a good main body paragraph is. What are the elements of a good main body paragraph? A demo, so I'm going to show you how I would write the first main body paragraph, and then for your challenge you are going to do paragraph number 2. So there are 2 main body paragraphs. I'm going to do the first one and you're going to do the second one. Okay, so what is a main body paragraph? So this is the most important part. Think of it as the meat in your hamburger. So if you went to McDonald's or Burger King and you ordered a hamburger and there was no ham in the middle, you'd be pretty annoyed. So it's kind of the same with a essay. Your main body is the meat. It's the most important thing, and if it's not good, then the whole thing kind of falls apart. So this is where you will make your detailed argument. This is where you will prove your point. So in the introduction, you're saying, I agree or I disagree. This is what I think. These are my ideas. This is where you take those ideas and you really develop them, all right? This is where you get into the detail. So this is where you set out your main points and develop them fully. So there's 3 elements to a main body paragraph. Luckily, for most of the stuff we've been doing in this 5-day challenge, it's handy that there's these 3 points. Makes it very easy to explain and easy to learn. So we're lucky in that way. So first you're going to write your topic sentence. Then you're going to write an explanation, and then you're going to use an example. So let's look at each of these in more detail. So your topic sentence. Topic sentence tells the reader what the paragraph is about. So basically what you're doing is you're just saying, hello Mr. Reader, hello Mrs. Reader, and this is what I'm going to talk about in this paragraph. And it's essential for task response, but also for coherence and cohesion. So task response is, did you answer the question correctly? Coherence and cohesion, is your answer clear and easy to understand and well organized? So it helps all of those things. So it is a big tick for lots of the things that the examiner is looking for. And it should be short and simple, okay? Does not need to be a complex sentence. Every time I write a sample essay, and some students who don't really know what they're doing, they're obviously not examiners, but they'll look at my topic sentences and they'll say, oh, you didn't write a good essay, teacher. And I'd say, why? And they say, because those sentences are not complex. Not every single sentence needs to be complex, all right? Some of them can be just short and simple, and topic sentences should be short and simple. Explanation. So you've done your topic sentence, now you need to write your explanation. So never assume that the reader knows what your topic sentence means or that they know how it answers the question. So one of the big, when I ask students, why did you not explain that point? And they'll say to me, well, the examiner will know that. I don't want to explain something that the examiner will know. Do not assume that the examiner knows anything. That is not the point. The point is that you have to clearly demonstrate that you can explain main points. So the reader can't ask you any follow-up questions. So you must explain everything to them, okay? So the biggest difference between speaking and writing, with speaking, the person listening to you can ask you follow-up questions. They can ask you, what does that mean? Or can you explain that? Or does it mean this? Does it mean that? With writing, obviously the reader cannot ask you any questions. So you must assume what these questions are going to be, anticipate what these questions are going to be and answer them for the reader. So pretend you are explaining it to someone who knows nothing about the topic. This is probably the easiest way to explain anything. All right, just explain it in a very, very basic way. Pretend that you're speaking to a 5-year-old boy who knows nothing about the topic. All right, and if you think about it that way, then explanations will be very, very easy for you to do. So what? So this is a really, really good way of getting students to write better explanations. Often students will write a sentence, and then I will come over in the classroom and I'll look over their shoulder and I'll tap up my finger at the end of the sentence and I'll say, so what? And then the student will be like, what do you mean? It's like, so what? Explain more. Tell me what that means. And then they write a bit more, and then I'll say, so what? Please explain more. Explain more. You have to do this. What, why, how? These questions will help you write explanations. Now, do not get confused. Do not think that all you have to do is think what and write a sentence about what, and then think why and write a sentence about why, and then how, write a sentence about how. That's not what I mean with this. What I mean is, if you ask yourself these questions, they will allow you to be able to write explanations more fully. And think of me standing over you saying, so what? All right. So I obviously can't be, you can't be my, student in classroom. I can't teach you face to face. But when you're writing these explanations, just imagine me saying, so what? Tell me more. Explain more. What does that mean? Why is that? How does that work? Think about me asking these questions, and it will help you. Examples. So IELTS want you to demonstrate that you know how to use examples. All right. So a lot of students get really worried about this, and they're like, I don't know any facts or figures or statistics or anything like that. The examiner is not expecting you to have a Google brain. All right. The examiner does not expect you to have, be able to quote newspaper articles or quote scientific studies or anything like that. All they want you to do is demonstrate that you know how to use examples. The examples must support or prove your main points. Okay. So the examples must be linked to your topic sentence. All right. If the example does not prove or support your topic sentence, then it's not a good example. And think about when you're arguing with someone and you use an example to help win the argument. So a lot of people say, why do I need to use examples? Do I have to use examples? Well, think about it this way. Well, the answer is yes, you do have to use examples for each main point. But think about when you're arguing with someone. If someone uses a really good example to support their argument, you've lost the argument basically. All right, they are very, very good at helping you prove your point, which is what you're trying to do. So examples do not need to be true, but they must make sense. So the examiner knows that you are in a test. You do not have access to the internet. You do not have access to books. You do not have to use facts and figures that are 100% correct. All right, you can make them up. It's always better to use things that are true. However, if you have to make them up, that's absolutely fine. The examiner is not going to go and Google your example to make sure that it's correct, but they must make sense. Recent research concluded that, or a recent study found that. All right, these are two ways that are very useful for providing fake examples. All right, so if you can think of a real example, use a real example. All right, that is something that is true is the best thing you can do. But if you're trying to make something up, just use these two things. So write recent research concluded that plus something that proves your example. A recent study found that plus what you're trying to prove. All right, something that supports your example. Okay. Warning, do not worry if this is not making complete sense right now, okay? So when I've done this class in the past, a lot of students, when they get to this point, are thinking, oh, I don't know what an example is, I don't know how to explain things, I don't know this, I don't know that, it's getting very complicated. It is supposed to be complicated. If it wasn't complicated, then it wouldn't really be worth learning it, all right? If it's not making complete sense, don't worry. This is going to take further implementation and practice. So you're going to have to practice paraphrasing. You're going to have to practice topic sentences. You're going to have to practice explaining those topic sentences. You're going to have to practice using examples. The more you do it, the easier it's going to become. So for example, in IELTS Writing Academy, in my VIP course is split into the Writing Academy, the Speaking Academy. But in the Writing Academy, we do a whole module on examples. Plus, we look at each of the 5 essay types individually, all right? We also have Facebook Live videos on examples in the VIP Facebook group. So, this is just an introduction to what we're talking about. Like in my VIP course, we have full modules just on examples. We have full modules just on how to write main body paragraphs for discussion essays, a full module on problem solution, a full module on advantages and disadvantages. I'm not trying to sell you the VIP course. I'm just demonstrating how much extra work is out there and how much you need to do in order to fully grasp this. Okay? So paragraph 1, main idea. Parents are not with their kids all the time. So remember, we were talking about the question before about whether parents should be responsible for fat kids, basically. So my main idea is parents are not with their kids all the time. So I disagree. Explanation: children can eat unhealthy meals and snacks when they are away from their parents. This makes them fat. Example: study showing how much children eat at school. Okay, so this is a whole paragraph. Parents are not present when children consume most of their food. All right, so this is my topic sentence. All right, short, simple. It tells the examiner exactly what the rest of the paragraph is about. When children are at school, they eat snacks and have lunch, and the adults have no control over their dietary intake during this time. A child could consume the vast majority of their calories during these unsupervised periods without their mother and father's knowledge or permission. And much of this intake could take the form of junk food. Alright, so here to here, that is my explanation. Okay, so I've explained everything clearly. Then, a recent study found that primary school students consume an average of 75% of their daily recommended calorific allowance during school hours. All right, so a recent study found that, plus something that proves my point. Okay, so very, very simple, very straightforward, but very effective. Okay, so here is your task. So what I want you to do is have a look at this introduction. So this is an introduction from one of our VIP students. And the 2 main ideas that they have are genetics and children often eat unhealthy food outside of the home. So I don't want you to worry about that one because we've already covered that one in this lesson. What I want you to do is focus on this idea of genetics. I want you to imagine that this is your paragraph. You've completed this one already, and you need to write a main body paragraph on this main idea, which is genetics. So what I would like you to do, number 1, write a main body paragraph using this idea. So same question, using the idea of genetics. So put genetics into your topic sentence, explain it, and use an example to support it. Write a full main body paragraph, and then email it to me, chris@ieltsadvantage.com. And we have a full feedback video giving you a lot of detail, showing you exactly what a good main body paragraph would look like, what are some common mistakes, giving you a sample so that you can look at your main body paragraph and tweak it and improve your ability to write main body paragraphs. So I look forward to reading your paragraphs, and I look forward to receiving your email, and I'll see you for lesson 5, the final lesson. Well done for making it to lesson 5 and completing this course. Lesson 5, we're going to look at how to complete our essay with a great conclusion. And in order to get a band 7, everything needs to be at a band 7 level. So your introduction, your main body paragraph, and your conclusion. So make sure that you finish strong, and I'll see you in lesson 5.